Can you hear us? I can't tell. You have to tell me whether they can tell or they hear it because I've been watching. I'm watching the live feed, the other live feed. Hey, give us a indication in the chat. Who's muted? Yeah, be nice to Maanyaa. Maanyaa is doing the job of Maanyaa and Shesh. Yeah, be nice to Maanyaa. Maanyaa is doing the job of Maanyaa and Shesh. Okay. Hi, folks. So you can hear me, but not Maanyaa. Maanyaa is a professional, so Maanyaa will be joining us audio-wise soon. She's having to be Shesh and Maanyaa at the same time. Okay. Can we get? Because Shesh is sitting there going like, I turned over this show to these goopers and they mess this up like this.
Okay, let's hear it.
She's
Save.
probably.
Can you hear me now? Coming through?
I can hear. Because Shesh is sitting there going like, I turned over this show to these.
We are so professionals. Okay,
Yeah.
so looks like you guys can hear me now. You can hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me as well? Can you hear me? And can they see the screen? That's the other thing.
Can you see the? I think so. They can see the screen. They can see the screen.
Can you see the screen with the cursor and all that? All
Yeah,
that
they
kind of
can-
stuff? Are we?
Yeah, they can screen. They can see two of you, if I'm not wrong.
Two of me.
Yeah, because there's one at the bottom also. I have not cut the screen up like properly because, yeah. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. No
And
pressure.
thank you for your patience.
Yeah, thank you.
The
Thank you.
goblin is goblining up the new goblin abode where the goblin lair will become one of those crowd forces things. So the goblin is moving. So Maanyaa has graciously agreed to give us this to be a producer and a participant at the same time. So give her a break, please.
Oh, it's yeah, they're gonna be.
So shall we actually start the official show, or we have enough banter?
Yes, let's start the official show.
Okay.
Let's go.
So welcome to the Volcano Show. My name is landonnoll. I'm a planetary scientist, and somewhere on the screen is
Maanyaa. Hi everyone, this is Maanyaa.
And who's also doing a chesh as well.
I'm doing a chesh also, and I'm also trying to eat at the same time. I have cup noodles with me that I'm trying to eat at the same time. So, yay! But yeah, this is a Volcano show for June.
Yes, and we talk about volcanoes, particularly we focus, although we talk about other volcanoes, we also focus particularly on the Kilauea volcano in Hawaii and things of Madam Pele, and there's some exciting things to present to you. Thank you very much for your patience. So for those that are not familiar with our show, we talk about volcanoes, and this planet Earth is a very wobbly, wiggly, erupty planet, right? The notion of a volcano erupting is like saying it's raining someplace. There's always volcanoes erupting.
Yep.
And if we look at the parade of volcanoes that are currently erupting, in Europe, we have Mount Stromboli, which is always erupting, currently erupting right now. Mount Etna is close to erupting. It's between phases, but it's in unrest. And I have arranged the pleasure next year to actually visit and be on Mount Etna. I'm hoping it's erupting at the time. It's an amazing volcano in Italy. It's usually erupting, but this time it's not. But but we'll see next year of what's going on. Nothing is erupting in Iceland. In Africa, we have the one that is kind of continuously erupting in Ethiopia. The continent of Africa is currently breaking in pieces. You heard of the Rift Valley? Well, this is the northern part of that rift of the tear, where in a couple of years, Africa will be rent in twain. We have the one that's also usually erupting in the Indian Ocean, Barren Island, and two in the DR Congo area. Indonesia typically leads the country with the most number of erupting volcanoes. Right now, 7 volcanoes are erupting in Indonesia. The usual set. If we look at in North America, nothing is erupting in Aleutians off Alaska. Although Great Siskin is under unrest, but it's been under unrest for a while, so maybe it's just playing with us. In Mexico, you have the Central Mexican volcano that's been erupting for a while. You have the 2 in Guatemala that are running for a while, and 1 in Nicaragua. So those are usual sets of things. South America, we have 1 in Colombia, 2 in Ecuador, and in Peru we have 1, and we have 2 along the border between Chile and Argentina on the basically the peak of the Andes Mountains. Other regions, the Sandwich Islands, Michelle, has been erupting for quite a while, and of course Mount Erebus is always erupting. It currently has the largest lava lake in the world in Antarctica. Yes, Antarctica has volcanoes, and Erebus is one of them that is usually erupting. Of course, Kilauea is erupting, and we also have, but the Pacific Ocean is particularly active this time, the Admiralty Islands and the Bismarck Sea Volcanic Province in Papua New Guinea has as a volcano that's just started erupting. And another one in Papua New Guinea. Or actually 2 more in Papua New Guinea. So actually Papua New Guinea has 3. We have the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, and Tonga, and actually 2 in Vanuatu that are erupting currently. In sort of the Ring of Fire on the other side, Russia has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Japan has 2, and the Philippines have 2. So those are the current ones that are actually pumping out lava. So as I say, lots of volcanoes in the world. It's a very common thing to do. It's not the harbinger of doom. It's the normal cycle of process. In fact, volcanoes are very important for life. They put lots of nice water in the air and other things, and they create very rich soil. Anyone who's been to like the North Island of New Zealand knows what rich soil can do. So volcanoes are good. Usually, just don't be in the hot part. So if we talk about, go ahead.
So I'll just say, if you have any questions, please in the live chat, you can add Debate Hub official and then ask your question. I'll put them aside and we'll go through them around the end of the episode, if that's okay.
Yeah. So we are waiting for
Madam Pele.
Madam Pele's episode number 50. So the current eruptive phase started on Christmas Eve of 2024, and we've had 49 eruptions, usually lasting between like 8 and 12 hours, and we're waiting for the 50th such eruption. One of the significant things that happened is that this particular time, 48, is the record of number of fountains. The previous record was set by a really amazing side vent called Pu'u'o. And Pu'u'o had a 35-half-year eruption from January 4th, 1983 to to around 2018, mid-2018. And it had 47 fountains during that time. Up in the Halima'uma'u center, basically at the summit of Kilauea, has had now 49. So we've had more fountains coming out of the the summit caldera than that 35-year eruption. So it's a very, not only is it record number for an eruption that has been in any historical records or is in Hawaiian legends, it's also had a very intense set of things, not spread over 35 years, but only up over 2 years. We are waiting for the eruption to start, and you'll see just how close we are. And there we'll see, of course, Madam Pele, she has her own time frame, so might grace us with her presence in an eruption, but we'll see. So that's the current set there. If you look at the set right now, we're running at around 5,000 tons of sulfur dioxide per day, and that's typical of pre-fountain phases. Of course, when the fountain actually occurs, we get lots more gas out, but we're near the spot.
So it's gone up since last time we were examining Madam Pele?
Yes, and so this is a bit more gassy event pre-eruption, which is kind of interesting, but it varies. So the tilt meter, if we look, and it's one of Chesh's favorite indicators. So the tilt meter is like the particularly we're paying attention to the blue lines here. And
can
what's
we
the
zoom in
scale
a little more, Landon? Oops.
Whoops.
Oops.
Here
there
we
we
go. Is that? Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
So this tilt meter, the scale on here is in microradians. So if you have a 1 kilometer long bar and you move it up 1 millimeter on one end, it tilts 1 microradian. So think about like a thickness of for those that are metrically challenged, about three quarters of a mile long, thickness of 1 dime. It's a very slight tilt, but it's measurable. And so this blue line shows you the tilt meter where it's tilting up. There's magnetic pressure causing the top of the mountain to expand and tilt upwards. So we can see over the last day it's been a steady climb. Over the last week it's been a steady climb. If you look over the last 3 months, we see this graph. So you see how the blue line reaches a peak and then drops.
Yeah.
When it drops, that's when the fountain occurs. It's basically it reaches a pressure peak, and then the magma comes out, pours out as lava in a big fountain, and the mountain goes back down. So when you see this drop, you're seeing basically the eruptive fountain. So if you look at the peaks here from the past ones here over the past 3 months, we're at or past where the peak tilt has been, the biggest pressure. And we're really close to what we think is an eruption.
And it's climbing up, isn't it? It's climbing up.
Yes, gradually up there. Over the past year, it's been up and down. But I think if you look at this thing here, so this graph here shows you since the beginning of this eruption, since Christmas Eve 2024, these are all of the fountains. Every time it drops down, there's a fountain, right? And you can see how it's kind of come down, but it might be going a bit up. You can see over here when we thought that the eruption was slowing down, and it was getting to be almost a month between fountains. Now we're back to this shorter period of almost 2 weeks. Not as fast as it was for the beginning, but it seems to be speeding up.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
You have traditional pressure cookers, right? The traditional ones with the little whistle on the top. So before the big steam pops out, it goes a little bit like pss, 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 and then the big one comes out. I think so. That's what it is, isn't it? That's what it kind of shows. That it's doing those little, escapes before the big one comes through.
Yeah. So the other one is a green meter of a different location on the mountain, and these big spikes here occur because there's earthquakes. Basically, jiggle the mountain. So when there's a significant earthquake, the mountain kind of jiggles, and the tilt meters go boing 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 boing. but we're mostly paying attention to the one near the summit, near the central event called Haleumaumau, means the House of Ferns. Of basically, it is the traditional home of Pele when she's at rest and not wandering around. And she's been at the summit for quite a while. If we look at the GPS, so the GPS talks about the length across the caldera, right? So if we look at what are the units here, these units are in tens of centimeters. So each one of these graphs is 10 centimeters, or I guess it's around 4 inches or so. And we see these as the pressure builds up, the mountain expands. And then when you have a fountain, it drops back down, it shrinks back down as the fountain breaks through and the pressure relieves and it sinks back down. And so that's been a case where we're near.
So this is over what period of time? This is from this.
So we have this is over, looks like over a period of kind of 2 months.
2 months
of time.
Okay.
Yeah, with several of these episodes. Here. Here's a case of a year. Right? So this is, let me zoom in here. This shows you the tilt meters over a year. So these scales are in 5 centimeters of scale. You can see again where you get these climbing up as the mountain stretches, tilts up, and then when it finally launches to it and releases the pressure, the mountain sags in and contracts.
Yeah.
So from a point of view of where we are, we're not quite, although we don't have another dot here. Imagine another dot will be right up to that line here. We're not quite at that spot. You can see that we're getting these again, a slow expansion. So as these eruptions there, the top of the mountain has been stretching more and more and more.
If you can explain, so there's some of the points, they are in negative. So what does that mean? Can you explain that a bit?
So the 0 is just a baseline. They pick a spot and say, okay, we're going to have this as a baseline. So at some point over here, they just said, okay, let's call this a 0. So it's really you want to pay attention to the relative, because it's not relative. It's relative to where the current length of that baseline is. There are 2 precision GPS locations across the caldera, and they use over a long period of time access to the GPS satellites to get their position within about a centimeter or so or less, and then they basically take the measurement across, basically see how much the top of the mountain is stretching. Now there are times where the mountain has known to be caved in because basically the top of the drum, if you think about the caldera as a drum head, has stretched so much that it no longer supports itself and it sags in, but still stretches. The other time it's concentrated and it pushes up and contracts. But we can see from here in these episodic systems, every time we have a fountain, we have this drop, and it will, this last time it dropped up. That basically we're talking about a baseline of maybe around 3 kilometers long, contracts maybe about 8 centimeters, 10 centimeters or so during a fountain eruption before building up again.
Yeah. And
we also can see that it's had a gradual several times. Again, this is over a period of a year. For the past year. We also been looking at the floor of the Haleumaumau crater, right, in the drop-down pit, where they use lasers to bounce off the floor. There's a little bit of noise you see here, in these spots here where you see these mountains. When there's actually a lot of ash and so forth, the lasers get confused. But this is over the past year, and we can see that the floor has gradually been rising. Why? Because the fountain puts out lots of lava, and the floor basically is right up there. This has been in meters, right? So at the last year is around 465 meters elevation. Right now we're at around 510. So over the year it's added almost 50 meters of stuff over a large area. So there's a lot of all those megapints of lava that comes out.
So when the points are flat, I just have a question. When the
Sure.
points are flat,
Please.
what does it mean? Like the points are at the same level?
Well, you have a jump usually because you have a let's say 8 to 12 hour fountain where it puts out more material, and so now the floor level is up higher because there's the magma turned to lava and coated the lava. So
Ah, okay.
so these jumps occur when essentially the floor has been. Now there's some business of the magnetic pressure underneath pushing it up. That's a little bit of that, but most of this change in height at the bottom of the downdrop block has been because material is filling up, right? This particular pit, for those who have been here for longer, know that pit originally was a little lake at the bottom of that thing. When the Great 35.5-year eruption ended in 2018, and about a cubic kilometer of magma went surging down the East Rift, came out the very southeast corner of the island. The top was basically left with a whole big cavity underneath, and the top of it collapsed. The top of the mountain in Halimau actually collapsed halfway to sea level. That has subsequently filled up, I would say about 80-85% full. And every one of these things you see over the last year, this is just the floor of the last year. We can see when it has lots of volume that comes out of the fountain, then the rock level rises because all that lava cools and you have a new floor. These little bits here are when there's been some sort of ash fall or something that's confused the lasers, but it stabilized. You basically pay attention to the long-term trends.
Oh, okay. So before we go further, there are a few questions in the live chat.
Sure.
If we would get to that. Lady Lumo asked, does Landon know anything interesting about quakes in Venezuela or South America in general?
Yes. So Venezuela had a really terrible earthquake, and it hit an area where the building codes are somewhat lax, unfortunately, and a number of people suffered. So sadly enough, the death and destruction is much larger than the typical of a magma size. So I know that there are lots of relief efforts going off to try and help people that are really suffering from a terrible situation there. South America is a very wobbly wiggly. Most of the earthquakes occur along the western coastline. The Andes Mountains is formed by essentially the Pacific Plate and South American Plate kind of colliding, Pacific Plate going underneath and causing the Andes Mountains to rise up. And along that ridge line are a bunch of volcanoes. So as those have been following the show, there's usually a couple of erupting volcanoes along that line, particularly between that part between Santiago, Chile, and the southern part near the Magellan Straits in places like Patagonia. Big earthquakes can occur in part because the Pacific Plate is being pushed underneath South America, and at times that it'll bind up, and then all of a sudden the South American Plate will basically skip forward because the pressure of the Pacific Plate going underneath is Pacific Plate is actually diating up quite effectively, but it sometimes binds up and then all of a sudden springs forward because of the pressure, slips. Yeah. In fact, the largest earthquakes that ever been recorded actually measured have been very sad situations along the coastline of South America, and those quakes created large tsunamis and so forth. It's a very seismically active place and lots of earthquakes, fortunately.
Okay.
Other questions?
Yeah. So Baba Toned asked, what is Landon's favorite volcano that's not on Earth? That's not on Earth. That's a tricky
So,
one.
so I am particularly fond of Olympus Mons on in Mars. It is what will happen when the Earth's tectonic plates lock up. The Earth has these periods of time where all the continents basically swim around and collide with each other and create a new basically Pangea, a new supercontinent, and it breaks up again. Right, the currents going on the mantle, we believe will continue to have the continents drift. They'll move around, come back together in one supercontinent again, and there's enough oomph to have it break up again, and then kind of stop. We think that it basically has sort of one more cycle left. When that happens, the continents will sort of slow down on their relative motion and kind of lock up and freeze like they did on Mars. When that happens, when it locks up, the hot spot, which is the current Hawaiian hot spot, will now stay the same, because if you look at a map on the Pacific Ocean and see the islands and subterranean islands, you'll see a chain of islands that the end of it is the big island of Hawaii. Well, when that stuff no longer moves, when the thing's locked up, then whatever is the Mauna Loa of that spot will just continue to erupt and erupt and erupt and erupt. I mean, the largest active volcano in the world is Mauna Loa, and dwarfs. It's taller than Everest is above sea level. It is more massive than the entire Appalachian chain combined. It's a huge mountain, and yet it only broke the surface of the water even some million years ago. These are very rapid. So when it finally locks up and the hot spot stays in the same spot relative to the Pacific plate, it'll just continue to erupt and build a big super volcano. That volcano will reach into the stratosphere. It'll be the Earth's Olympus Mons of stuff, and so it'll be so big that they say the weather says will move around it. It won't be able to go over it anymore.
Oh wow!
So that's sort of my favorite extras. Although there are some fun ones on Io, which is a volcanic moon, or a dwarf planet moon around Jupiter. But I don't know their names, and they're harder to see. And so if you're about erupting, it would be on Io. The best, my favorite extrasolar, or excuse me, not extrasolar, but extraterrestrial, out there in space would be Olympus Mons. So check out Olympus Mons on Mars. It is a big volcano, and someday, probably about 1 billion years from now, when Earth's plate block up, or plus billion years, Earth will have its own that'll rival, if not beat, what Mars does.
Okay.
Good question, though.
Yeah. So, Orange Dot from the live chat said, "Cool. Mars is still geologically active. Is it still geologically active? Is Mars?" That's my question.
Well, now, if you had asked me about 2 weeks ago, I would say that Mars is on its way down, because the continents of Mars have locked up. Mars doesn't have enough mass. It doesn't have as much radioactive material, so it no longer has continental plates drifting around. They've solidified. The surface is solidified. But we've just discovered from having seismometers measuring Marsquakes, that Mars does have some substantial magma chambers. They're not necessarily pushing up at the moment, and Mars has had some spectacular eruptions. And because Mars has so much water locked deep below ground, when it does have an eruption, it melts lots of subterranean ices and has these huge water flows as well. It's quite spectacular. But Mars is definitely on the waning side. It's not and it's not had a significant volcanic eruption in a while, but it doesn't mean it's dead. It's on the decline though.
Okay. One more question, and then we will proceed further. It's from Orange Dot again, and they had said, what is the surface area of the crater floor? I think so. I guess they're asking about Madam Pele.
Well, we'll see a map there. I'll show you that. But it's a good question. So hold on that question because we'll have a map that will show you what's happening. You see the crater floor.
Yeah, brilliant.
We've had so since the last time, our last episode, I think our last show was on the 14th. Is that right? Or 15th? I think on May
14th or 15th. Yeah.
Yeah. So episode 49 had just had occurred just prior to the show, and here's a chart showing you. Let's see if we can get more things there. Showing you the various.
Can we zoom in more? Sorry, I'm just. I
okay,
sometimes.
So here
yeah, that's better. Yeah.
So there's a chart so these are the last 3 episodes that have occurred, showing you the time 9, and 7.5 hours. The period of time is 13 days. We think, given stuff, it's about it'll be about 13 days or so when 50 goes off. In terms of the height of the fountains, have been around 200 meters. Now that's, we'd say only around 200 meters because it's had some like 500 meters. That was a record height, we think. Certainly comparable with the great Kilauea Iki fountain in 1959, but that was only one fountain, and there's a little bit of debate as to whether or not this episode 43 exceeded or not. But we shouldn't throw shade on Pele doing 200 meter high. That's around 600.
Oh no.
Because if you look at the volume, these are in millions of cubic meters over a period of like 8-9 hours. Huge volumes of
8-9
lava.
hours, yeah. That's a lot.
And sending liquid rock, which is dense, up that high, even 200 meters, is a spectacular fountain. So
that's a lot of pressure, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to throw shade on what Pele is doing.
Oh, no.
It is to a point when we had these extremely tall fountains. Some of them lasted, we had like a 22-day period, almost like it built up, or 30-day period where it built up a lot of pressure and then did a lot at once. So in some sense, because these, instead of being 20 to 30 days, are in the 2-week period, there's not enough pressure, and not as much pressure building up, so the fountain doesn't release as much volume and much material, but it still is doing a lot. So here is a map, okay, and so let's look at this map because you asked about the size of things. So the pink area is the area in the drop-down block that has been filled with lava. There used to be a small hole around here that used to be this only about 150 meters wide, a small vent, but that when it collapsed, this area that you see that sagged down here was the big collapse period, and it has filled up over time. The lava extent here for these fountains, where it's in this area that has erupted over these last 49 plus things, is around 435 hectares. That's 1,075 acres of lava. So if you look at the scale down here, see the scale down the bottom here, showing you 300 meters so this is like around 3 kilometers by about 2 kilometers in size. This area, a fairly extensive size of material, and so it has certainly put in a lot of material during the last several, last 2 dozen eruptions. It's come from these two vents over here, and sometimes just one of the 2 vents. So this is up a little bit higher, going down, but it is slowly filling up this zone. During the period of the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was common for lava to basically sloshing around and trying this whole caldera. It's been concentrated here because of there still is, if you look at the elevation differences, there's about I would say maybe less than 100 meters from this area to this area here.
Less than 100. Is that all that's left?
Of to get to here, right? Because this is,
wow,
in terms of feet, this is around 3,500 feet, and this top is around 3,300 feet. So yeah, it's about 100 meters left before it spills up into this area here. This material over here has, because of the fountain, has created a bunch of ash things, and we'll see pictures of this, has actually exceeded this rim size here, but it kind of flows downhill, so it hasn't spilled out backwards. It's still pouring into this spot. This is the top of the national park, where here you have the visitor center and Volcano House, a nice lodge to stay in. It's got all these observation points, particularly this nice overlook here. So you can actually get quite close. There's also trails over here. You can come to this overlook over here and see inside there. Even when it's erupting, you can get quite close and see lots of things.
I'm sorry I'm moving the windows around because my brain is still like, oh, this can be better. Ooh, this can be better. So just, sorry, I won't do it again. My bad. Sorry, Landon. I just moved the chat onto your shared screen. I'm sorry. And didn't even realize I was doing that. I was just like, oh shit, what did I do?
So this was for the map for May. Here is a map showing you deformation, ground changes, elevation by satellites, right? Satellites are looking over and seeing stuff. And this was for a period between May 25th and June 2nd. And what this range you see from red to blue represents about 1.5 centimeters of distance, right? So when you see a color cycle, you're seeing that material. And you can see how this area has been expanding, but the main thing is this area here has been contracting. This area has been sinking, this area has been expanding. So it
kind of almost feels like that either it's like pushing the lava up, or the lava is getting bottlenecked and it's just staying there.
Yeah, so it's definitely pushing up at the summit and down here. Now, why we think is that? Well, our model that we're using right now is that there are 2 magma chambers currently at play. There's a magma chamber about 6 to 7 kilometers below the surface.
Yeah.
And the center of that magma chamber is to the south of the caldera. It's around this point where it says EQ. It's down in this region.
Okay.
There's a second magma chamber. It's about 1 kilometer below the surface that is underneath the caldera. Now, what we can tell based on earthquakes, the amount of material coming in from deep in the mantle, the hot spot, coming up to the lower magma chamber, and we can tell the amount of material that comes out the top because we see eruptions. And what we've been noting is that the rate that's coming in from deep below from the earth, where we can see earthquakes as deep as 40 kilometers, that material coming up to the lower magma chamber is coming in about half the rate that it's going out, right? So it's going out twice as fast as it's coming in, which says at some point this big eruptive cycle has got to slow down because there's more stuff coming out than in. It'll eventually stop. Now, we saw a slowdown where the fountains were getting to be like almost a month apart, and that we thought, okay, it's slowing down. In fact, even we even predicted several times, obviously we're wrong, that the eruption is slowing down and may stop fountaining. And Madam Pele says, no, hold my beer. I got more stuff. And we had this resurge of things. Which
she goes like, psych, gotcha.
Yeah, and so from a physics standpoint, we're pretty confident about the fact that there's more material coming out of the lower magma chamber, up and out, than from down below coming in. So at some point, that's got to slow down and stop. And in fact, these eruption phases don't go on forever, right? That's we're lucky that we have this very eruptive phase right now, because sometimes there's years between when Kilo erupts. Other times it's very frequent. That upper magma chamber is an odd duct this time. This drop-down block, this collapsed area, used to be the magma chamber at the top. That used to be it used to be solid copped over, and that was that chamber, this area here, used to be the upper magma chamber. But when about a cubic kilometer of magma went down the spine, let's look at this spot here. Here's the summit. Here's this eastward zone, went down the spine all the way to the end of the island and poured out here in a great gate into the eruption. The result was that top magma chamber was empty. It no longer couldn't hold up the top. And so the mountain collapsed in. In fact, it collapsed in halfway to sea level. But it is subsequently, since that 2018 time, filled up almost back to the brim again. So the way people said, oh, it's collapsed in, it'll be a while before Kilauea ever does anything, like she said, no. And as a vengeance since 2018 has been very, 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 very active in filling up this.
She's like, pew, 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 pew. Here, take this lava fountain. Here, take this lava fountain. I stopped. Psych. Here you go again. Yes. Pew, pew.
And so we see up here the ground being pushed up, and down here we see the ground sagging down. Right? The lower magma chambers, a little bit to the south, we'll see from earthquakes point of view that the earthquakes are sagging in because of the lower things and pushing up the upper thing. How long does it last? Well, we'll see. That's you get to.
What's happening with Madam Pele at the moment? What's she doing? What's going on?
We're getting there. We're trying to wait to see. Ooh, you'll see some live stuff here. So I want to show you episode 48. This is the ashfall, right? We had the typical trade winds that went to the.
And they were like, here, everybody, have the blessing. Take the ash.
Again, if you see the size here of the 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, or almost 2 miles here, you can tell this drop-down block is about 3 by maybe 2 kilometers in size.
And some highways just disappeared.
Yes. There's roads. I mean, after she's done and she's okay, now you can hold my beer. We'll be able to build roads again, but until then, we'll just watch from the side. Earthquake-wise, so the last week, these dots show you where the earthquakes occur. Here's the summit right here. There's this Halimamau spot. And you say, well, what's all these earthquakes on here? Well, part of the thing that's happening is that there's so much mass that's showing up at the top of the summit that it's pushing the island in towards the ocean, right? The island is basically sagging in towards the ocean. At some point, but probably a while from now, maybe not unlikely in your lifetime, this side of the island will give way and fall into the ocean. You can see in this area here. I'll zoom in a little bit.
Madam Pele is like, I'll just take up a little more of the space. Let me just spread my legs like that and just put my 2 legs up here and toes, and I'm just gonna be like, thank you.
You see these slides, these slides of large material falling down into the ocean. And that's what this stuff is, the building up to basically the pressure. So here's that East Rift zone going out towards the end of the island, where you have lots of volcanoes, lots of little spots that came. The Great Pu-o was right here. But again, there's a lot of pressure pushing down. Now the color shows you how deep the earthquake was. This is over the last week, and we can see here from the point of longitude.
Sorry.
There's a bunch of places 30 to 40. What?
Sorry. No, I just sneezed. I'm sorry. Yeah, please go ahead, Landon. I sneezed.
Okay. That's fine. The producer allowed to sneeze. So we can see these blue and purple ones are earthquakes like 30 to 40 kilometers deep, and they occur around this time. So this is the area where the hot spot kind of it comes up and hits a magma chamber up here, and then goes to the magma chamber up here. So the lower and upper magma chambers are around here and around here. If you look at the past month, it shows an even bigger picture. Lots of earthquakes along the edge as the island is slowly sagging towards the ocean. Lots of earthquakes up at the top of the summit. Lots of earthquakes of the material coming up. So there is material coming up from the point of view of time. This shows you the time. We see there's a continuous stream of magma coming from deep underground to the point of creating earthquakes 30 to 40 kilometers deep, and then the top stuff. So the hotspot is still hot, still rising, and based on these earthquakes, we know how much material is coming up into the lower magma chamber. We also know how much coming up because we can measure it, and there's more going out than in. So at some point, this eruptive phase, you'd think, is going to slow down, unless there's something else going on that we don't understand. Again, earthquake-wise, if you look at the island itself, again, most of the earthquakes we see is in that spot. Air quality is important for people on there, and we can see here the sensors are showing that there's no hazardous material. This little dark spot here shows you basically the trade winds. This is basically the gas, the trade winds pushing the gas in that direction. And this area out here is kind of continuously under this gas. It's actually called an acidic desert because this is acidic, very acidic material, and the material around here, the plants have a hard time growing. It's kind of this desert region from this gas that's usually there. Now the winds do flip around on occasion, and that happens. But generally in these spots here, if we look at the history of stuff, particularly even close to the vent, we can see that there are occasions where you'll get things up into areas where it's unhealthy for sensitive people that they may.
So it's parts. Is it parts per million? Is it? What? Yes, no, that's 3:45 p.m. That's the time. But it's parts per million, isn't it? In the air.
Yes. So if we go back to the previous set here for the area. Yeah, it's typically in parts per million.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there are steam vents also. Ooh. So sulfur dioxide and steam vents. Yeah. Acidic. Yeah.
This X here is because they're rebuilding this particular sensor at the visitor center, but they try to help people understand. Like it's usually both. They measure both the particulate levels at the 205 microns as well as the amount of sulfur dioxide gases to help people out to make sure that is there. But normally, unless it's really erupting. Now, if this were an actual fountain and it was blowing the direction, then you'd have some areas where you have to be a little bit more careful. So let's see what happens. Let's see what's happening right now. So this was during. So here we see the north vent of that set, and this was during the time when Maanyaa and I were on Dapper's show and watching. You can see this glow prior to a fountain. You get these times where it glows and then stops, right? And so you say, what is it? That was during our show. Was it right now? Let's see what it says right now. Right now, okay, you can see there's a little bit of glow there. Right, so it means that the magma is pretty close to the surface. It doesn't have enough oomph to launch yet. But it's really close.
Really close.
It's up to the surface. It's about ready to boil over. During Dapper's show, there was a little bit of stream that went where that lava glow dribbled out and went to about here. So we see it is really close, right? We can see that the magma chamber magma is up to the point where it's going to be ready to launch, but that not quite. We'll see. we'll watch what happens. Here's another camera angle, and we can see there. This is get more gas. Looking at it has harder to see with gas. Here's another camera angle, and we do a live view here, and we see it's got some glare, but again we can see that vent where the gas is moving to the southwest.
Oh yeah, southwest. Oh okay.
So here is the looking across the caldera to the vents are over here. So this is along the larger caldera, and we look at it live. Thing here it goes. Of course, it's looking at the sun a little bit, but
sun is like shooting arrows at the camera.
Yeah, you can tell that the fountain is sitting here with the gas going out the side.
Yeah.
Not quite erupting, but really, really close.
Yeah, really close. Madam Pele is like, oh, you can wait for me. You can wait for me. It's okay. It's all right. She's like,
so let me look at. I'll show you the next thing here. Some of the pictures from the previous eruptions, and so here's looking at this one May 19th, just after the our previous show, and you can tell basically the vents right down here, and you can see this mound is built up. Right, the mound downwind from these fountains is actually up higher than the rim of the caldera rim, so it's actually built up a little cone on this side here.
So I guess there will be a point when it will start, like the lava will start going on to the other side, isn't it? Oh, this is the ash that's actually molding.
I mean, because if you remember, this is still down in a pit, maybe about 100 meters below.
Yeah.
So it still has a little ways to go before it hits to the main caldera floor, and maybe another 80 meters for it comes out the other side. But it kind of depends. I mean, if the spot of the event were to shift up to here, then it would easily come on the other side.
Aldebaran, sorry, I really hope I'm not butchering your name. Aldebaran 4154 from the live chat said that Madam Pele is just waiting for that flurf I promised her as a sacrifice. Oh my god. Then where is it? Where is it? Dude, don't make Madam Pele wait. Just joking.
So my colleagues took this photo. This was on May 18th when they're looking at stuff, and they're noticing around this area on this side these cracks in the ground where the ground has been deforming and the surface cracks open.
Because it's becoming heavier and heavier, isn't it? So it's gonna move apart. Yeah.
But also it's also quite it's also that you see the particulates here, basically the ash and pumice that comes out of these vents when it's fountaining piles up to here as well. This is they stayed away from this area because this is very, very unstable. It's just loose rubble that is at a critical angle and can slide down. When we see the cracks, they said we're not going anywhere near the edge. No.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. So here's a case of showing on May 22nd, where we had a really nice overflight showing you from a drone. It's nice now that they're allowed to have drones here. For a while, they weren't allowed to fly drones in the park because they were considered to be dangerous. But like, we'd rather have drones look
than
down
people.
on the vent. Yeah. But you see this sort of right here. This is loose ash. That is very, very, very loose. That any sort of little something or other can cause it to slide down. In fact, when it gets
it's like a sand
rain shower. Yeah, but it's at the critical angle, and you do not want to. So you stay away from the spot because you could easily slide down into.
Is there any way for visitors to access this spot?
I'm
not saying so that visitors can go there. I'm just asking, like, if there is a way, has that way been blocked off?
Yeah, it has, and there's signs saying "Don't be stupid." And the park actually can detect when someone's being dumb. they try to stop them
Good.
before they get there, because otherwise they have to go and rescue their butt and put everything right. So see this, look at this, you see this road here, this road right here?
Yeah,
Into this spot?
gone.
This is actually now a trail, because that road is very cracked. But you can park over here and walk to this edge.
Oh, okay.
But they have a fence here to stop you at this spot. This is fairly stable, and
Isn't
you can
that-
look at.
Isn't that the southwest vent? Like southwest, isn't it? No.
This is south. We're looking southeast. Here's the vent here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is looking southeast.
Southeast. Okay,
In this
gotcha. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. And here's another spot. So this is down on the floor of the caldera floor on the 22nd.
So.
And we can see down here. Do you see how it's all broken here? Well,
Yeah.
Well, when the lava pours out, you get this nice solid sheet. But then as it cools, it contracts and cracks. Because it's a lot of this like silicate glass. It's glass. This is glassy silicate stuff. It is silicon. It's glass, right? This and as the thing contracts, it breaks up and fractures because it's going to shatter.
So
as
you
it
can actually observe it if it contracts, like.
And if you were here, you'd hear it. You'd hear glass breaking, crack, as this thing is contracting.
Can you hear it from your window, Landon?
Not from my window, but you could, if you're down there, you can hear this thing cracking.
Wow. Is there a way to record that sound? No, I'm just curious.
It's like glass breaking, and the other thing, of course, and you get sharp pops and then mild pops that it's kind of like a fire crackling, but it's glass shattering. And you also can see the amount of minerals on this top. This is a very, 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 very rich minerals, right? So you've got sharp glass. You've got really warm tropical stuff in this tropical lush paradise. The bacteria here are going to the town. They're having a rave party. The bacteria on here is having a rave, and it's just like going to town because you have all this material, all these rich minerals on this nice warm surface that bacteria just goes to town.
Okay.
And if you are unfortunate enough to slip and fall, you will shred your hands, which is why you wear gloves and other things there. But you will cut yourself, and you will expose into your blood vessels really dense bacterial stuff. So one of the requirements you're out here down in this spot is to have a medical person who will immediately apply disinfectant and first aid, because you can get really bad infections by slipping and falling.
I guess these particles are so minuscule that you can even get them in your bloodstream, isn't it? It's possible to get them in your bloodstream too.
Well, the bacteria. I mean, you just take a swab, wrap it over, cross it over the rock, put it in a petri dish, and it just you'd be amazed at how much stuff is going on. Because that's when the process of life begins to break down this rich material. They'll eventually form dust. That they'll break the rock down, and that dust gets a little spot where some bird drops, a seed or a poop that creates a little bit of a grass.
That's food, I guess, for the bacteria, and they're gonna
and it turns into rich soil. So this is you're seeing this stuff beginning to break down because biology, you say it's desolate, but no, this is actually biologically very active.
I see some I see some conspiracies developing in my live chat. Guys, it's okay. Calm down. It's okay.
So
look.
on May 22nd, they did an aerial view over the north vent, and we can see even then that you look down the thing and you can see the glow material. Right now, that glow it's near the surface. It's like up near the rim at this point, not deep down. So that's where we're at right now. If we were to if you were to build so bold to build down. The walls of the caldera, you talk about the material, are also very unstable, right? It's been because it's lots of earthquakes, lots of avalanches across the side, but also extraordinarily rich in minerals. Look at the minerals that are in this material. This is really rich soil. There's not.
You can see sulfur, and you can see ferrous also, like iron material also, and everything. You can see that.
Nitrogen stuff.
Phosphorus,
and it just is. Yeah, it is. It is like
colorful.
The reason why you don't see plants here is because it's been eroding so fast, right? It doesn't have a time to plant
settle.
But there are seeds that have been dropped by birds that are flying across, and
Orange Dot mentioned that in the live chat, that birds will bring seeds, and they're
a very important spot. So as I said, we've had a record number of fountains. So this is like the advent calendar of the 48 fountains. You can see pictures from there and down to this set. So 48 was it started on December 23rd, and June 1st had its 48. So Pu'o had 47 over 35 years. This top has had 48 in a period of only 2 years. So Madam Pele has been going to town in some spectacular fountains, particularly these record tall fountains here.
Even look at episode 48. It looks beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And we'll see. We will see some more of that stuff. So here is episode 48 fountain.
Yeah. Ooh.
And you can see, and these are, you say, well, these are large boulders. These are large liquid boulders that are coming from that vent. And of course, we're seeing it from the camera from this. This was done by a camera, not a person. Camera on the side, and you also see these big ash things. We'll see more of what's happening. You get these air currents, as Maddie was talking about. These clouds that come up, and these air currents that create these ash.
Yeah.
And this is about 200 meters high. It's about 660 feet high.
The
pretty good
orange
for
is like beautiful orange. It's like so bright.
Yes, and you can see how the wind blows it back and it's building up this ash mountain behind it.
Yeah.
While most of the lava is flowing down slope into the caldera pit.
So, Megan from the live chat said, "How would a few billion years contribute to the ecology of the volcano?" Katina, I don't know if they replied to Megan or not, but they said fertilizer preferably. The chat is having fun.
And a billion years from now, the hotspot will have moved very far away, and the Big Island will be a subterranean mound underneath the ocean. It'll move on, but again, these are huge liquid boulders. These are like house-sized boulders. This is yes. I mean, because this is several hundred meters. So these are like
if you think about perspective, Woo!
Of things. And
like,
so,
Madam Pele, why are you making us waiting? Please start.
Maddie was talking about her favorite things. So look at the weather that's getting created. These clouds.
Oh wow!
Created. You can tell down here. You see that there's a fountain.
Yeah. Oh.
And you see the vent. That's what she was talking about when she was saying these pyroclastic clouds, right? This is the weather being generated by this eruption.
Oh, nice.
That's why she said, she was saying, this is my favorite type of things. These are really special things, and Madam Pele likes to do that because there's lots of weather.
Madam Pele puts on a show for everyone, every nerd out there.
Here's another nice thing showing you the crowds, right? So you're talking about, remember I showed you the picture of that road that's now a trailhead and it stops?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the end of that trailhead, and here's they don't go closer here, and you can see, get this nice rainbow here, see this nice rainbow from there and the fountain. So you can walk to this spot. There's also another spot on this other side too. So you don't have to be on this edge, the other side as well. And you can see it's really accessible. There's no reason other than being an idiot to cross this line, because you can get plenty of views there. Don't cross the line. Just be sensible.
So Orange from the live chat is asking, are they water clouds? I guess they are referring to the clouds that you were showing in the previous picture.
Yeah, one of the principal outputs of an eruption is water. That's in fact, it's been stated that the water in the Earth's atmosphere on the surface came from volcanic eruption, right? Water forms deep underground, and in fact, it's the water turning to steam is one of the principal things that gives that magma off. Because magma is liquid rock. It's heavy. It wants to go down. The reason why it goes up is because stuff boils and pushes it to the surface. Carbon dioxide is one of those things that's boiling, but water is another thing that's boiling. So there's a lot of water coming out of here, fresh water coming into the in the atmosphere from this eruption. But also the heat causes, there's particles that cause the water vapor to condense. So you get clouds and you get thermal uplifts, and as well as water being injected there, steam and so forth. It's a very rich source of stuff. Now, you're in the tropics. You're like 18 degrees north of the equator. So you're in the tropical area. It's moist, it's warm anyway. Madam Pele is just adding a little bit more.
Yep.
Spice to it. But this shows you how well you can see if you stay in a safe spot, because they monitor the stuff and they say this is very stable. Don't go over here. Don't go over here. Don't go over here. Stay here, and it's just, you'll be just fine. It does have, this tephra does have downwind things. So if we look at, this is the case on a windshield, you can see the glass particles there. So when you have downwind stuff, you get lots of little bits of these things. The big things are kind of okay. It's the small ones
that cause the issue.
Don't. Chris Maanyaa can tell you about silicosis of what that.
Yeah, it's basically so small, these particles, they can cause scarring inside your lungs, and because in order to compensate for that scarring, your lung tissue starts to work overtime like your immune system, and it can cause cancer because of that, because it's trying to produce cells to cover that scarring, but it generally is not, it doesn't need to do that system. So it just goes into like overdrive and causes cancer.
Now, this was a vehicle that the USGS people downwind were doing measurements after the eruption. They had gas masks, and they wanted to take a picture while they were out there for an hour of showing the stuff that lands on it. So you don't want to be downwind from this thing. For that.
So even if you're inside a car traveling in this kind of like atmosphere, the best thing would be to wear a respiratory protection. And Katina, you're right. It's like aerosolized asbestos. Yeah, it's like that. It's in the air.
And so here's another. I want to show you. This is another episode 48. So we'll see here what it's like.
Wow.
Look at that wind dust bubble there.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if people have seen it. If you like throw rice in the air to like remove the rice covering from it. So you use the air, you throw the rice in the air, and the air kind of pushes away the husk of the rice, and that's what it looks like.
Yes, and so this was the flow here when this was taken was around 350 cubic meters a second of lava coming out. Huge volumes of stuff. Now, here's another thing on the side showing you again how the area is still rich tropical, all kinds of plants, lots of fertile material here for this stuff. This is episode 49. So this was the one that just happened about 2 weeks ago. And you can see again how the ash mound behind it is high. But also this had a lot of more of the, you get these thermal vortices, these sort of little dust devils here, and we'll see that in more detail. Here's another case of the episode 49 fountain. Again, it reached around 220 meters high, with lots of material. This is really where all those glass fibers gets generated. This stuff that gets carried up by thermal currents and freezes, versus the material down here where it's dropping down to become lava. In fact, in this spot here, you can see again on the edge the effects of the material coming down and freezing as it falls. Now, I want to show you this particular thing. This is V3 cam, and this V3 cam was looking at episode 49, and I want you to watch what happens with this little tornadic system here. So we'll watch this go along there, and you can see that vortice happening. You see how
the steam,
right?
like the
Now,
yeah.
We'll watch this, what happens here. So it starts to really, and it's driving the winds. That's what's creating that.
Yeah. Oh wow! It's just like the smoke and steam just started like turning. Oh. It's becoming tighter and tighter. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're getting to nearly, and as Mandy was saying, around an F2. There's a little small one there.
Yeah, there's also a little one just going along, like, hey, wait for me!
But this one here really started taking off.
Yeah. Holy moly.
And hitting. Look at how it's drawing up the dust and gas.
Yeah.
As it's now built its own updraft system between the cold on one side, because you're seeing a weather front on the cold side versus the hot side. That's just ripe tornadic.
Go. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Madam Pele is like, you wanted to see something new? Here you go.
and
so beautiful.
Right, and it really, this one, and so this is one of the things, in part, that you can see how high the vent is relative to the crater.
It's like it's moving.
The floor rim.
It's moving closer to the camera. It's like telling the camera, "I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you."
and still has there's a lot of hot material down below, but it's being fed by the cold air coming in from the ocean, hitting the hot air coming off of that.
And it creates that pressure difference, isn't it? Yeah, and then it goes off.
Which creates tornadic things. And so Maddie would have been like, "Ooh," she'd be like, "Ooh," because you can see, you can see a cyclonic system tornado starting, and you see how long it's now moved, more than about 200 meters off of that set, and
still going on. Oh my God. Where's Maddie? Maddie, come in, watch this.
And it's still coming.
Yeah, it's still going.
Coming right towards us.
Yeah, it's coming towards the camera. It's like, I'm coming for you. I'm going for you. I got you.
I think, oh, it's just a little. No, this is. Remember, this is not a little dust devil. This
This is
is
big.
yeah. This is a big system, and it is churning up lots
So,
of the ash dust
yeah, still going.
there, being fed by the cold air hitting that warm air, spun off of that
Yeah, it's still going. It's still going.
of of that set.
Wow.
And so this camera, in fact, I was watching this live on the camera, doing a camera check.
Oh,
And
okay.
like, in that cloud, it's a bunch of sharp glass. This is not a little, this is not a bunch of moist air. This is a bunch of sharp shards of glass
Yeah.
in superheated air going like, oh,
Let's throw some stuff around. More. Why not? And now it's
and it's
disappeared.
still coming.
Oh,
I'm
it's still
thinking, surely it's kind of dissipating, but I said no, it's getting close.
There's still
right?
movement, yes.
It looks, it's harder to see because it's now we're
Spread
now
out
so
a bit.
close to it,
Yeah.
and we can see some of the other steam now wrapping around, coming in front of the camera.
Yeah. Just
For there.
just imagine, maybe this is what like ghosts were on camera for those like ghost catchers and stuff. Just like, tornadoes and stuff, like little tornadoes just like going around the camera.
And you can see that the lava stream heading down into the main caldera.
Yeah.
But now you don't see it as much because it's almost right on top of us.
Yeah.
Look at the camera saying, "Oh, this is
hot.
this is
Prickly. Hot.
hot shards of stuff." And now we can see you start seeing little things going in front of the camera, little blobs, and more blobs, and more sharp blobs, and now it's basically right on top of us. And now there's bigger blobs flying around.
Yeah,
You're going
now
like,
it's Oh, there we go. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh no.
You're going like, that poor lens is being scratched to smithereens
Smithereens,
by
yeah.
shards of.
Oh, there we go. Oh no. Oh god. Oh. Holy moly.
That poor, I watched this live going like, that poor lens. Fortunately, it moved beyond us and such.
Yeah.
And yeah, the
Oh.
it's kind of, there's a little bit more stuff.
Yeah.
But this is really sharp shards of glass in
Yeah.
very hot rock. Not nice.
Not for the camera, no, not for anyone in that in that vicinity, no.
You can see these pebbles and rocks being thrown around.
That's
So F2 tornadoes going over sharp glass, not a good combination. The camera, you can see a little bit, the camera has a little bit of now more of this kind of reflective glow on it. And that's because essentially the front of the lens was, you took glass and you basically scraped it across the front of the lens.
Yeah.
And
Glass,
and
sharp
the
glass on
camera
glass.
was survived. So now they're putting a filter in front of it, so that instead of the lens being etched, the filter can be etched and replaced. So the lens had to be replaced before the current episode.
That must have been expensive, yeah, for that camera.
And saying, okay, you're going to put a filter in front of it like a daylight filter in front of it that can be replaced.
Yeah.
when something
It's like
goes
when you're protecting your phone screen or the lens of your camera.
So let's see what's happening here. So here's the current live view
Yeah,
of
Madam
the
Pele
set.
is still.
And now,
Yeah.
now you see that it's getting really close there.
Yeah.
Let's look at V3. Right
Um,
there, I think it's easier to see it in V1,
yeah.
the glow, but it's now definitely.
I think so. By tomorrow, we will see some. Yeah, we will see Madam Pele dancing again, I think.
So if this is there, oh, look at that! Look at that!
Oh,
Did you see that?
Yeah! Ooh! That's the live. Yeah, nice. Nice.
You
nice,
see that?
nice,
You saw
nice,
that moving there?
Yeah.
I would say the fountain is beginning to start.
Oh,
Look at that.
nice. Madam Pele dancing, Madam Pele dancing, da, 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 yeah. Yay.
This is a warm-up act. She will launch into full jig.
Yeah. So while Madam Pele is revving up, should we look at our previous predictions from last time?
Yes.
So I'll just bring up.
That.
I was able to extract the predictions from the transcripts. So let me just go back.
There's some blue.
All right. So Orange Dot had said. Hold on. Let me just see.
So look, you're seeing the beginning of episode 50.
Yeah. So Orange Dot had said 2 eruptions, slightly higher than the ones discussed in the previous episode. So were they correct?
They're about the same height, around 200 meters or so. So they're the same as last. There were, of course. Let's give the for the credit that when we started, it just had done so. So do you call this the third one or the second one? Right?
This one, I would say, the third one.
I mean, it hasn't really.
No, it hasn't really started.
Kind of
yeah.
But from the point of view of the beginning of the show, it hadn't really started yet. So let me remember again. I'm going back to the eruption information here. Let me get the actual dates here. I apologize while we watch Madam Pele do her stuff. So our last show is what date? May 15th or May 14th?
Let me double check for you. The last show was May 15th.
Okay, so 47 had just happened. We had 48, 49.
Yeah.
And prior to this show, this hadn't started, right? So we did have 2.
Yeah.
I don't know you call this a third one because it's just starting,
it's
kind of,
just
sort
starting. So I think so. Orange was quite close. Yeah, they were quite close. Yeah. We can give them that.
But the heights were because at 47 we had 46 was 200 meters, 47 was 200 meters, 48 was 200 meters, 49 was 210. So it was the same height. But 2. Okay, pretty good.
Yeah, cool. Chesh had said 5 more fountains, each followed by slowing down, then settling down before the next show. I guess she.
She was thinking about moving.
yeah. So there was another person, All Day S. I don't know if that's correct, but they had said eruptions getting back to the earlier pattern with shorter intervals, likely by the end of the month. Landon interpreted as you said that it would be a couple of shorter episodic intervals,
which is what happened. We had a period of 9 days, 7 days, 13 days, 14 days.
Yeah. So yeah, it's they're correct. And
stuff you can now see some of the cyclonic stuff starting.
Yeah.
Here.
Nice. Landon is so happy this is happening live. So Victoria had said more eruptions before slowing down. There was a caveat that they put in so they had said more eruptions before slowing down. That's what they had said.
Yeah. So we had 2 more.
Yeah.
And we haven't slowed down yet.
Not yet.
So.
Yeah. I had said at least one restart with spitting glow gas and dribbles, then possibly a fountain from the north wind.
So if the eruption had just done this, you would have been right. But we had 2 fountains.
Yeah.
It started off this way.
Yeah.
And not. By the way, I want you to notice it's cycling, right? You see, it goes between the point of almost spattering. You can see little bits of stuff going over the surface.
And then it calms down a bit, and then it goes up. It's like before the whistle blows from the pressure cooker.
Back, forth, back, forth. Part of what happens is that when the magma's near the surface and outgasses, then that magma's heavy and sinks back down and inhibits the stuff going below until it turns over and the new stuff comes up. And so it cycles. We're seeing the cycling, the short-term cycling. And it is, and we see stuff dribbling in here. We can see the material, the stuff dribbling out slowly. But it will at some point launch when really soon, because you can now see splattering of lava.
Yeah.
In the side here.
So, okay. Landon, your prediction, if you look at it, you had said the recent pattern would repeat 3 episodes before the next show, which is like damn close. And then single fountain episodes, likely dribbling from both vents first, and then one main fountain. Tilt range of about 10 to 20 microradians. Did you say that? Fountain heights around 250 meters. 3 medium height fountain episodes. That one.
So I should have said 200.
So no. But listen, you said 3 episodes. So
which is like, is this like the 3rd one? Or is this the 2nd one? It's kind of going. I mean,
yeah. I think so. Orange was.
Maanyaa, had it been Chesh running the show, we would have been done by now and wouldn't have seen this. So because of Maanyaa, you get to see the start of episode of Fountain 50.
Actually, I'm keeping it a timing of what exactly Chesh would have done. It would have been like hour and a half. But because we started later, 30 minutes later, so we are able to see this. If we had started right on time and we had finished hour and a half in, we would not have been able to see this. So yeah.
So thank you, Maanyaa.
Don't worry. It's it's a pleasure. But now this is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's always good to see Madam Pele dancing, and then it's so fascinating to see like how our Earth is. You can connect to the past of the Earth by looking at these volcanoes. You can imagine how the Earth was before we were here. So yeah, it gives you that nostalgic feeling, doesn't it?
So the other fountain, you could see little glows on the other fountain there, but this is the one that's really active. The south one, that's kind of around the other side of this mound, is a little bit glowy, but it's not very active at this stage.
Yeah.
We did see on the 49 when you saw that tornado, that there was a little bit of splattering from that other thing, just tiny bit, but most of it comes now from this one vent, which is odd because Pele does a lot of work to go up through that entire block of almost 500 meters of new material that's refilled the caldera, and then push out here, as opposed to she could just go to the southwest or the east.
So,
but not. She chooses to do it the hard way or do it the nice way.
She chooses her own path. So. Yeah. What I've put in the live chat is that, guys, you can make your predictions here by tagging Debate Hub Official. And what I will do is, this time, I'll read out your predictions with your tag names so that they become part of the transcript. So it's easier for me to extract them next time. So you can go for it. Start with your predictions if you want to. But Athens has already started. Athens predicted that my prediction is whatever Landon's is, it usually is correct. Very convenient, dude.
Except I will say this about it. So the model of this 2 magma chamber system has problems, and the problem is reality, right?
Yeah.
If that was purely the case of the lower magma chamber contracting and upper magma chamber having the foam top, again, that upper magma chamber that's a kilometer below this vent has kind of a foamy, frothy top, like a head of beer on a glass of freshly poured beer, and that gas at the top compresses and comes out. If it was really correct, we would have seen a slowdown of these events, right? Because the bottom magma chamber is contracting. How do we know that? Because the ground south of this vent is sagging down, and we can see the earthquakes amount of material coming up from below is about half the rate of stuff coming up the top. So more out than in, it's got to slow down, except that's not what's happening.
No.
So it suggests that our model for what's happening is off a little bit. And it still does not explain. So I'm talking about what we don't know, right? If it had been a month and then 5 weeks and 6 weeks and slowing down like we thought it was several months ago, then say yes, see, we got it spot on. But that's not what's happening. It's speeding up again.
Yeah.
The other problem is that so the rate is speeding up. The caldera is still expanding. And the answer is, and then the big question is, why is it still forcing its way through this tiny hole? Because when it has a fountain, right? When it does the big fountain, you saw those big fountains that it's been doing. There's so much pressure, it's coming out of a small hole, right? There's a lot of magnetic pressure. Why does the magma say, hey, why go up this hole when I can go to the side? You say, well, it's blocked. Well, but this episode started Christmas Eve 2024. In 2024, we had a eruption in the southwest that lasted for about a day. We had a eruption to the east that lasted for about 10 days. That was only a couple of months before this episodic SID started. So it's capable, the magma is capable of going down either direction. And yet it says, I want to come up the top the hard way.
Yeah, but it depends what happened after that, right? After those eruptions, what happened with the lava?
Sure.
Right, or the magma. Yeah.
Something is obviously preventing the magma from moving off of the summit. Remember, the summit, it's at the top. And the magma is heavy. It wants to go downhill.
Yeah. So after those two eruptions, in did we see any major contraction of the ground? Like, did the ground sag somewhere really low? Somewhere. Not
really. So the southwest one, remember from the southwest zone, and we were really excited because it was the first southwest eruption since 1970. And the southwest zone, when it erupts, tends to have these long curtains of fountains of lava. And if you go down the Chain of Craters Road, you go through really beautiful, extraordinarily beautiful, former lava flows. And if you see basically stock footage of Kilauea doing big, long, not just one fountain, but long curtains of fountains, do you think it's good for having one spot? Imagine a 2 kilometers long of chain of big fountains, right? It really, when it goes on southwest zone, it really goes to town. And so when it started going there, we thought, hey, here's it. We're going to get these nice big fountain things. It lasted for 10 hours, 12 hours, and then stopped. We think that there are 2 pipes to the southwest, an upper pipe and a lower pipe, and the magma went on the upper pipe, which is small, a little bit of material and it came out and stopped, right? But it stopped, and so it went to the east, and said, okay, Pu'o'o is to the east. It went about halfway to Pu'o'o and stopped, because Pu'o'o was the thing that did for 35 years. It's got plenty of pipestone there. It went for about 10 days and then said, oh, we're done. and then it started coming out in the summit, and it's kept ever since. So we cannot explain why the magma is taking the hard route and forcing its way up a tiny hole. Not that I'm complaining, because it's really nice fountains, really beautiful fountains, but it's had more fountains in 2 years than we normally see in decades. So why is it still coming out here?
Madam Pele.
The tall fountains, we actually had 2 vents there going for at times, but it's now one. Why is it still coming out? So to me, that says that our model of the 2 magma chambers is incomplete, and we don't understand the plumbing between the central vent and the southwest rift zone and the east rift zone. You could argue much earlier, back in 2018, that collapse where the pit went almost 600 meters down, the pipes either direction, the magma pipes either direction were collapsed and sealed off. You could argue, say, well, yeah, it collapsed, so it can't go. It has to go up to get to the southwest or the northeast.
Yeah.
Fine.
So, yeah.
But by 2024, it was doing that, and then it stopped, and now it comes. Now she works hard at just coming out this one little hole. Nothing complaining. It's great tourist attraction. So when I talk about stuff, the thing we don't understand is, why is it still coming out here? Why did it return back to its fast rate?
Interesting.
We don't understand. So oh, look at that.
There's some information.
Ooh.
Come on.
You see a little spill over here of the lava?
Yeah. Ooh, nice. So Katina said from the Katina Pack from the live chat said, I don't pretend to know what Madam Pele will do, but I expect. Yeah, I saw that. But I expect more irritating breathing, headaches, and late night rain. Maybe 3 fountains. Aldebaran 415 said, yeah, I was watching the Mauna Loa Strip Road camera live when the Southwest Zone eruption started. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And then... Go ahead. Yeah. And then Athens said from the live chat, she's crowning. And I'm like... So, Landon, what's your prediction? Let's hear your prediction.
So my prediction, okay, so 50 is obviously happening right now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I believe that we will, if we're talking about a month from now, we will have 2 more episodes. It kind of depends upon when Chesh returns, but I say a month from now we'll have this episode now. That's pretty obvious, and then 2 more. So we'll have episode 51 and 52. They will be similar height, around 200 meters. Similar duration, around 7 to 9 hours.
Yeah.
Similar volume, around 5 to 6 million cubic meters.
Yeah. Sorry, I got excited.
Yeah, and so this is what the Park Service say. People say, "Let's go starting now," and then she goes back and then say,
it's like
that. The off duty. Now, I will say drink, because there are other herbal substances that sometimes people use.
Oh, okay. So what was your prediction again, Landon?
So my prediction, that 50 is happening now, and we'll have, prior to our set, 51 and 52. Depending on when the show occurs, we will be very close to 53. So there'll be like 14 days-ish between intervals which is why it's hard to say is it 2 or 3. It kind of depends upon when our show lands. The heights will be around 200 meters.
Okay.
The volume will be around 5 to 6 million cubic meters. So it's essentially more of the same.
Okay. So Orange Dot from the live chat has predicted 300-meter fountain 3 times. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be, I would say, if Orange Dot is correct, that would
300 meters.
register an uptick slightly in pressure. Look at this. Look at it now. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Uptick in pressure and uptick in activity as opposed to constant. Not a huge uptick, but a little bit there. So it could be.
So I think what my prediction would be, we'll see 2 more proper fountains or fountain episodes after
Beyond this one.
After this one. Yeah. Probably they'll start around 1 or 2 weeks later, right? And I think the north wind will do the main work with the south
This is the
wind.
north wind, by the way.
With the south wind glowing, gassing, and spitting, and being very dramatic before just giving up again. Yeah. And I think the lava height will be mostly 170 to 260 meters. Okay.
So between slightly smaller to slightly larger range?
Yeah. I'm not going through 300. Yeah.
Yeah, we had since 46 has been 200, 200, 200, 210.
Yeah.
So you're saying
170, between 170 to 260. Okay. So
what about volume?
Volume?
And I'll give you, we had 4.6 million, 5.2 million, 5.7 million, 5 million.
I would say volume will be lower. It will be low volume. On average, maybe around between 4 to 4.5 million. Okay,
so if the height is what you're saying, I'm just curious.
So they will be shorter ones, so that's why I'm saying the volume will be low.
So that would suggest, if that's correct, and there's higher, and the volume is lower, it would suggest the fountain's duration is less.
Yeah.
Right. If it's not as high, and so the rate is not as much.
Yeah.
And it's not as much volume. It suggests that the rate is a little bit lower. So that's a reason. I think that's a reasonable call, because if it doesn't stop on a dime, it's got to slow down at some point. But you may so it sounds like you're suggesting that the next month it might begin to slow down, but not really slow.
No, not really slow. No.
And but if you notice here how it's dribbled out, and you can see that
you can see the
stuff here.
Smoke.
This is lava that's come out there, and it's outgassing from this spot. We don't see the lava with this little blur mountain in front of us yet.
No, but you can see the glow. You can see the glow.
Yeah. So
it's beginning to happen. You can see that.
Whoops.
No. Okay, here we go.
I want to see what's happening. I mentioned this because I want to see what's happening with this is V1. I want to see what's happening with V3 here in just a moment. Let me get to this spot. I want to see. Look at just the other camera here before we. In other predictions. So here's V3. Yeah.
Any other predictions, guys?
So we can see the other vents over here. Not really going, but this is obviously doing that spot.
Yeah.
For live here. Yeah. So this is still
Landon,
the
is
better
it
show.
me or there is like I can hear like when you talk there's like noise, some noise, white noise.
What you're hearing is the camera microphone.
Oh, okay,
Hold
okay.
on, hold on. This is not my breathing anything. This is Pele. You're hearing the sound
Oh,
from
okay,
the
okay.
camera. Right? So all that
Gotcha,
that
gotcha,
hiss, that's not a bad mic. That's Pele. That's the sound of Pele doing that. And you occasionally hear what sort of like buffeting wind because the winds, thermal winds hit the camera like that.
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, okay.
That's not me breathing, and that's Pele. So
Okay, that's not you breathing. All right. So I see there are not many, no more predictions, guys. So I guess we can either, if you want, Landon, we can wait, or we can wrap this up. What do you want to do? I'm not.
I mean, it is beginning to spatter here. You can see the fountain
Yeah.
now is about up to here. It's
Yeah.
dribbling over to this spot.
Yeah.
It hasn't really fully started because the lava train is about here now. Heading out there. I looked at it on V1 cam, and V1 cam is behind. It can't see behind this ridge here.
Yeah.
Now there are things that could happen to change
But
things.
you can see like more outgassing happening, right? And it's becoming
now
more
the lava
rapid.
trail is,
Yeah,
the
it's
lava
becoming
train
more
is
rapid.
down here.
Yeah.
Down to here now. It's down to
Yeah.
here at this spot. Now,
Yeah.
one thing that can happen at some stage is this material upslope, up in this area here, is very unstable. So imagine if you had afterwards an avalanche where this thing slides in and jams this vent. Then things could get interesting, right? During the Great Kiluiki Fountain of 1959, that's what happened. That the material off of the side slid down on top of the vent and acted like if you had a garden hose where you put your thumb on it and it sprays to the side, and it basically sprayed across the caldera to where some people were standing. Fortunately, they had garbage can lids. They brought garbage can lids, metallic lids, and they put them above their heads and had lava hit the top of those garbage can lids, because essentially, it's like they were across the caldera from it, and the thing slid on the side and did that hose thing, squirt on the side and sprayed at them. It was those lids were in the museum, because you could see basically melted rock on the top of the lids, but they were all fine. It's just like so this is very unstable ground. I don't know at some point whether this is going to fall in or not.
Yeah, it's already fallen from the side. You can see that from where the lava is like dribbled out.
And look where the lava is now here. The fountain's here.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It's now fully. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there we go. Hey!
So one thing we should do, I should let's put the link into the chat.
Sure.
For this thing so you can watch it live, because it's going to last for maybe 8 hours or so.
Yeah.
So we're not going to watch here to the end, but those online could certainly choose to go there. So I'm going to go and do the share link, copy. How do we copy that? How do I send it? Maybe I can send it to you and you can.
Yeah, send it to me. That's fine.
I can put it here into the. I'll give you this direct message, because we should probably do this at least. So this is the live V1 cam. Now, this V1 cam is good for when it's just starting, right? It doesn't have the height. I'm going to give you the next link is going to be, oh, look at that. Look what's happening on the other side.
Oh! Oh my God, Madam Pele! Oh my God, Madam Pele! Oh my God! Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Here we go! Here we go! Woo!
There's a spattering, as you said. So this is so put V1 and you see V3.
Put what? Sorry.
And then I'm going to. So I've put in the link V1 and V3. I'm going to show you V2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to show you, talk to you about, so you can watch this over the next several hours.
Yes.
So if you look at what happens, so V1 tends to be good for looking down close to the vent, the north vent.
Yeah.
V2 is farther back, but it is being hit by the VOG. So we don't see the glow. That's why it's all gassy there. V3 is good for showing you the south vent. We saw that splattering. In fact, it still is splattering a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why this doesn't look as spectacular is because we've got this ridge in front of it. So we don't see the bottom of the vent.
Yeah.
But we do see the bottom of the vent for the south. So this is the south vent's here, the north vent's here. So V3 is good for seeing the taller fountains, especially from the north vent. So the north is here, south is here.
Yeah.
And if you want to see anything in the south, we saw the splattering coming out of that. And again, it's going to cycle, right? We see the cycling. If we wait a minute or two, it'll start cycling again. Oh,
sorry guys. Where it says V2, it's still camera. Where it says V3 in the live chat, it's still camera V2. I think so. I got the wrong link. Let me just put the V3 in. Sorry.
Yeah. So you want to look at V1 if you want to see the base of the north vent. You won't see the south because it's behind the ridge. If you want to see the high fountains on the north, look at V3, and it'll also give you a little bit on the splattering of the south vent. V2 suffers from the fact that it's a little bit back, but it's in the VOG, so you don't have all this gas coming out there. It's not as effective. So you want to kind of bounce around between the vents.
Yeah.
There for that. And if you appreciate, you could thank me for helping set up the ability to have live streams, because there's not much. So here's V1, the base of the set. Here is V2 looking up, but we've got gas in front of us, which is why it looks kind of foggy. Here's V3, where you can see when this gets tall, this will be much more effective. And you can see the splattering coming out here. And typically as well, that's another odd thing. We saw that splattering when the north vent takes off, the south vent splatters a bit and then kind of doesn't do much. So one of the other things we don't understand is why don't you get two great fountains? Why is this south vent kind of anemic? But it is very typical when this thing gets started that we first start seeing high splattering out of the south vent, and then it kind of stops and decides to go out here.
Yeah.
So the plumbing between these two vents is not well understood. At least I don't think the models from there. So again, V1, the base, and again, you'll watch it. You'll see it cycling between active and non-active. V2. But you can tell there's a little bit of glow here, but this is the north vent, and then V3.
Nice, beautiful.
And sometimes, of course, it does take. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. So now it's settled down a bit, but it's still there. It's still there. The second vent. Yeah. The
south vent is right. South vent is right there. But it isn't splattering as much. It's kind of like it starts to splatter, and then it says.
Look at the main one. Look at the main one now. Woo! Hot.
Yeah, and you can see the overflow. You can start to see the glow is now reached here, and when it really starts going, it'll just create
I think
this
so. You're right,
long-
Landon. That cone might not survive. That's around it.
Yeah,
It's
this
already
is
gone.
a fairly steep, and this back here, this back material up here is fairly steep that could slide in.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that now! Wow.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And now the lava is down to here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's
now almost
happening.
now it's continuously going there. Any other comments from the chat? Again, bounce around between V1, V2, and V3. And you're welcome for stuff. So what's actually the way the feed is that courtesy of Akamai, where there's a single stream that goes. One of them goes to North America, one goes to Australia, one goes to Japan. And from there, so when you connect up to this YouTube, you're connecting to one of the, it looks where you are in the world and takes you there. Because if everyone were to try to connect to this camera on the Big Island over the ocean cables, it would be you'd be very unhappy. The feed would not. So we export the feed. So you don't see like how we see that you see the mirrored feeds.
It's like it's like you're sending the feed to different servers so that people can access it from different servers, so it's not chunky.
Yeah, and
it's not
there's,
there's not too much traffic coming to your servers at the same time, isn't it? That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Distribute the
and
traffic.
because there's a limited number of cables going into the middle of the Pacific Ocean in a way. And you see it'll splatter here. You see now how it's actually seeing how much it's actually outgassing here.
Yeah.
So there's material behind this.
Yep.
That it's working its way up. There's pressure behind this thing. And again, you're hearing the winds and the volcanic sounds that hiss.
Ooh.
It's not my mic, it's Pele. And so I'm thinking...
Yes, it's not your mic.
This material back here has got pressure on it. And sometimes it might give way and collapse down here.
Yeah, so...
But
is the vent going to close because of that if the material falls on it? Interesting.
If there's enough pressure behind it, it'll blow it out again. It would just splatter to the side until it blows up. I mean, kind of depends on how much material falls in. This. Remember, this stuff is coming up kilometers from down deep below, so it's got lots of pressure.
Okay. All right.
It would kind of put a thumb on it for a while until it blew the cap off again.
That would be interesting to see. Yeah.
Or stuff. And of course, you can tell now. This time here you see is Hawaii time, so you can see that the sun is sort of setting and we get this night glow. If you do go to see an eruption, seeing it at night, I think has better views than the daytime.
Yeah. All right. I think
there's two.
Yeah.
Vent gas here, and V3. Oh, there's still, this guy is here. It's kind of a cute little side thing.
Yeah,
but
it's like, hi. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I encourage folks to watch this for the next couple hours. You'll be able to watch the ebb and flow of episode 50. We'll have for the next show, which will be a month from now, right?
Should be. Yeah, we'll talk to Chesh and set the date up. Yeah.
The goblin is relocating, and the goblin lair looks fun.
Yeah, she should be
Goblin
okay
Nation
by next week. Yeah, she should be okay by next week to catch up again. But thank you, Landon, for the links. Very, very appreciated, and thanks everyone for coming.
And thank you, Madam Pele,
thank you, Madam Pele. Yeah.
For starting in our show. That's a real treat to see a beginning of a fountain. Oh, look! Did you see those flames?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
That is hydrogen.
Yeah.
That is hydrogen.
Yeah.
So it's hot
flaring
enough
up. Yeah.
that the water breaks apart.
Yeah.
And the hydrogen then, pure hydrogen gas ignites.
Yeah.
Creating water.
Okay, so before we wrap it up, there's one last question from Aldebaran 4154. V2 camera is near of the volcano house. I've been trying to figure out where that camera is.
Yeah, it is back a ways. So yeah, it's back. So if you think about the two angles of V1 and V3, V2 is kind of halfway in between the two angles. So look at, so here's V1, here's V3, and V2 is halfway in between. You're looking straight up the set. You're looking straight on as opposed to the side, and so it's back farther. It's not all the way to the volcanoes. There is another camera that is farther closer to the volcano house, much farther back. Let me see if I can find that camera for you. Here, I'll go and find that camera, because there is one that's farther back that gives you that closer to the volcano house. Yep. That will so under webcams. It's not V1, it's one of the M cameras. The server is a little bit busy. Wait for it to load. There's V3. There's V3, and there's V1. Let's see, has it loaded? It's loading, okay. Here we go. I believe the one that is back is the one of the M cameras. No, B. It's B camera. So this one here. Visit webcam. Okay, so this one here, and I'll put that in the link. So this one is M1, and this one is closer to the volcano house. So what we're seeing here, here's a vent. Here's a large caldera drop-down block. You see Mauna Loa in the distance here. So it's a back from there. So when the fountain has a large lava stream, you'll see because the vent, when it's really going and it's pouring out lava into the basin, this is where you will see, particularly at night, the large lava streams. You see back here the edge of the drop-down block. Can you tell the little bit of it's dark, but you can see stuff here. So the extent of the lava flows, here's the vent right now that's erupting. It'll go down the side and pool over here. So M1 is good for farther back, seeing the extent of the lava flow, especially at night. So you want to check out the M1 camera, which is closer to Volcano House, that gives you the farther back zone, and it'll be, as it gets dark, you won't see this terrain, but just be aware that the vent's going to be on this side, and the other side is the extent of the down drop block, where the extent of the lava flows will reach.
All right, cool. Thank you, Landon. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We're gonna hop off.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and have a nice day, and keep watching the links and see Madam Pele dance.
Yes.
Yeah. Please enjoy the show. I might actually. Oops.
And thank you again, folks, for showing up and paying attention to Pele.
Yeah,
She
Madam
appreciates
Pele loves it. All right.
And please click the like button too, if you can.
Yep.
And if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, because it'll make the goblin turtle and be happy.
Be happy? Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
Do.
Do.